grunt of the rewatch crew. Hey, Sandra. Hey, Brooka. Hey, Perkers. You are early. You've beat the likes of Uncle Buck and Vanna. I did get a new rice cooker. I haven't taken it out of the box yet. I'll need to take it out of the box tonight. Just no. It has actually. I think it snowed a little bit last night. Black and Decker. And hello, Navy Knight, Navy Wife. The same as the last. It's the exact same model as the last two I got, which means about 6 months, and it'll fuck up again. Here, Rebecca. I've been dropping here all day. That time of the year. Hey, Kelly. Thanks, Kelly. Rebecca, while you do, Rebecca, I'm going to say D, none of the above, because we don't actually live in the same city. Hey, Catherine. Good night, Catherine. Because he warranty. The thing with it is, maybe. It's $35. Going through the warranty process is genuinely not worth the bother. You have to remember that I am an exceptionally lazy person. I am just so lazy. Hi, Sandy. So, like, I would rather just, hey, George Girl, I would rather pay that $35 every 6 months than have to go through the warranty thing. Yeah, it's basically a lazy tax. But, with my probable ADHD, I've already got so many things that I procrastinate on. Procrastinating on like a replacement for my rice cooker. Procrastinating on calling Black & Decker about my rice cooker would take me away from procrastinating on everything else in my entire life. Yeah, but I did already get it. I got a new one yesterday. $35. Although this one was on sale. $7 off. So only $28 for this one. Normally $35, but it was on sale, so I got it for only 28. Woot, woot, woot. I'll need to take a picture of it to send to Chantel. To scare her. I also need to get it out of the box. Hey, Uncle Buck. It's gorgeous. Thanks, Rebecca. Yeah, she's free to try cursing this one. Hey, Ginger. I took 3 ads to join. Weird. It's weird that it's like multiple ads. Not sure why that would happen. Hey, pause. Recipe books. Nah, I haven't really read them. I mean, it's like because I'm not cooking anything else in, but other than rice. So I looked up how to get the like I looked up, what they recommend for the rice. Oh, hi, Kitty Charms. But anywho, I had plans on going to my mom's this evening, but weather earlier was miserable. Hey, Marie. So I didn't. So I'll try to go tomorrow. Hopefully the weather is not awful tomorrow, and I can, visit my mom. Pause! Thank you for a gift membership. Pause, and congratulations, Whisker Biscuit. But tonight, oh no, it was not laziness night. It was the weather is fucking. The weather was miserable earlier. My mom had messaged me and being. My mom had actually messaged me earlier and saying like, "You sure you want to come over tonight? The weather's pretty bad." Hey, Lorna. Not totally sure, but I think we might have had freezing rain. How cool. It got below zero today. So it was below freezing. And like I said, I think it might have actually been freezing rain as well. I'm pretty sure that's what the symbol, the icon means. We can have them on visit. Yep. Hi, Oreo. Hey, Joanna. Hey, this and that. Give it a couple more minutes before I get started on the trivia. Just see if anyone else comes in. See if Vanna gets here. Apparently, Pretty Reckless put out a new song recently. I do like the Pretty Reckless. Hey, Emeralds. It's a pretty good song. Ralph Lauren sweater in red, 100% cotton for $30. Not bad, not bad. I don't think we've gotten a lot of snow, but we have gotten some. Uh, my condolences, Uncle Buck. Hey, Opal. Was it an uncle you were close to? Spitting image of your dad. Well, that probably makes it harder. Like this because you're looking at him. All right. Marginally less bad then. Hey, Mike. Not a whole lot up. Nothing important. Hey, Aper. No, I suppose I guess it listen people. Yeah, I say, but I'm not devastated. Vanna will get here when she gets here, so I figure not going to wait for her any longer. I think with the starving Americans. Hey, Peppermint. All right, so yeah, let's get going. I remember last time, I think like right before it ended, or it might have been like a comment after the stream. Well, Vanna's usually very early in the chat, Joanna. She's usually one of the first people in the chat. So yeah, somebody had requested Simpsons trivia. I do know that last time somebody suggested Simpsons trivia, so let's start with some Simpsons quotes. Who's down for some Simpsons quotes? All right, quote one. Marge, old people don't need companionship. They need to be isolated and studied so it can be determined what nutrients they have that might be extracted for our personal use. No rules for playing. Confuse Patty and Selma with that changes. So yeah, first quote. Marge, old people don't need companionship. They need to be isolated and studied so it can be determined what nutrients they have that might be extracted for our personal use. Who said that one? Who do people think said that quote? Bart, Lisa, Patty, or Homer? Was that Bart, Lisa, Patty, or Homer? Nice, Sultan. Excellent. As I recall, was that the episode where Homer's dad and Marge's mom started dating? I feel like that was the episode where Homer's dad and Marge's mom started dating. Anyway, the answer was Homer. I was right. All right. Quote 2. The results are in for Sideshow Bob 100%, and for Joe Quimby 1%. And we remind you, there is a 1% margin of error. And that's not forget. Also, I can't remember. Fair. So who said that quote? The results are in for Sideshow Bob 100%, and for Joe Quimby 1%. And we remind you, there is a 1% margin of error. That one was not Bart. Was not Bart. Was not Smithers. So the options: Mr. Burns, Kent Brockman, Homer Simpson, or Apu. Hey, Donna. Didn't know there was going to be a pop quiz. It's trivia. It's trivia. Hey, Stardust. And yep. Kent Brockman from the episode where Sideshow Bob became mayor by rigging the election. And that was, yeah, Kent Brockman said the quote. Hey, Vanna. You're late. Quote 3. Hello, Simpson. I'm riding the bus today because Mother hid my car keys to punish me for talking to a woman on the phone. She was right to do it. Hello, Simpson. I'm riding the bus today because Mother hid my car keys to punish me for talking to a woman on the phone. She was right to do it. Bart, Skinner, Smothers, Flanders, Millhouse, Smithers, Skinner, Smithers. Hey, Tally. Smithers. A lot of people think Smithers. Hey, Koala. Was Smithers' mom ever actually seen on that show? I have no idea. If it was not in the early seasons. No, it was Skinner. It was Principal Skinner. Yeah, I don't know if Smithers actually even referenced his mother. Number 4. Well, if it isn't my arch nemesis Bart Simpson and his sister Lisa, to whom I'm fairly indifferent. Well, if it isn't my arch nemesis Bart Simpson and his sister Lisa, to whom I'm fairly indifferent. Okay. Nelson? You think it's Nelson? Arch nemesis yet? he was dating Selma or Patty. Yeah, whichever of them it was. Patty, I think. I'm pretty sure it was Patty that he dated. Skinner's mom wasn't from. Or Skinner's mom was from. Sideshow Bob. Thanks, Anna. Bob, Nelson, Bob, comic book guy. Hey, Elizabeth. And that was Sideshow Bob. It just, I mean, like, 2 nights a week, I have a plan. Or no, 1 night a week and one extra night a month. I'm doing trivia, like, I do trivia once a month. I decided, like, the second Sunday of every month is going to be trivia night. And then obviously Saturdays are always gaming streams. Every other night, no plans. All right, number 5, quote 5. You may remember me from such self-help tapes as Smoke Yourself Thin and Get Some Confidence, Stupid. Call a friend. You may remember me from such self-help tapes as Smoke Yourself Thin and Get Some Confidence, Stupid. Dr. Troy, Krusty, Troy. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. I mean, you may remember me. You may remember me is like that is his cat. That was his catchphrase. Hi, I'm Troy McClure. You may remember me from. Question 6. Question 6. Question 6. Business is slow. People today are healthier and drinking less. You know, if it wasn't for the junior high school next door, no one would even use the cigarette machine. Mo, mo, mo. I just like. Hi, Frida. The best part of everybody giving the right answer is like that was a gag. It was like there was a gag in the episode where Homer just kept saying Mo, Mo, Mo. And yeah, it was actually the Flaming Mo episode, yeah. Number 7. It's black. It is black. Pause. It is a black t-shirt. Question 7. Miss Hoover, I glued my head to my shoulders. Midnight hour. Mo, mo, mo. Miss Hoover, I glued my head to my shoulders. One of the few times that Ralph actually seemed to like be legitimately like have some like a little bit of legitimate self-awareness is like, oh yeah, this is bad. My cat's breath smells like cat food. Bear down, go Bears. Number 8. Number 8. I choose you. Participant. All right, I can start giving choices. The thing is, like, anyone who's watched The Simpsons should know these quotes. And if you've never watched The Simpsons, the quotes won't mean anything to you. Like this next one, this next quote. If you've never, like, if you know The Simpsons, you don't need the options. Since the police can't seem to get off their dufferoonies to do something about this burglarino, I propose we start our own neighborhood watch. A Rooney! Yeah, exactly. MS and damage to my brain. Fair. That's fair, this and that. Since the police can't seem to get off their dufferoonies to do something about this burglarino, I propose we start our own neighborhood watch. A Rooney! Get to the Simpsons. Yeah, like just the speech pattern. Shit, even people who've never watched The Simpsons know that speech pattern. Flanders, yeah. That's just how Flanders speaks, so. Howdy ho, neighborinos. 35 years in show business and already nobody remembers me. Just like what's his name and who's it's, and you know, that guy who always wore a shirt. I do love when they get like hilariously vague like that. There's also when Mr. Burns is like, that man, he's always standing and walking. Ray Calhoun? And yeah, the answer for that one was Krusty the Clown. And final one. I'm on a road. Looks to be asphalt. Oh, geez. Trees, shrubs. I'm directly under the sun, Earth's sun now. Yeah, that's final quote. I'm on a road. Looks to be asphalt. Oh, geez. Trees, shrubs. I'm directly under the Earth's sun now. Was that one Homer, Chief Wiggum, Principal Skinner, or Marge? Homer, Marge, Wiggum, or Skinner? Homer, Marge, Wiggum, or Skinner? To be fair, 3 of the 4 were involved. The actual answer was Wiggum. But Homer was in the back of the car, and they were chasing after Marge. So, hey, Norma. And came in and left. Well, boo to her. All right. So that category went over poorly. Who's got a suggestion? They're a ravenous swarm of locusts. Yeah, I don't remember what that might have been from. Oh, good night, Sandy. Music and movies are good. Friends. I guess we can do Friends. Oh, I have to talk about all those babies. All right, we'll do Friends. This is supposed to be an easy one. Who said the bigger they get, the cuter they ain't? Either Patty or Selma. I'm not sure which of them. The show I know nothing but. No, we're moving on to Friends. Question. Uh. Eh. Eh. Who plays Chandler? Who plays Chandler? Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, David Schwimmer, or Joshua Jackson? Is it Matt LeBlanc, Matthew Perry, David Schwimmer, or Joshua Jackson? On the side note, I'm just realizing that show had 2 guys named Matthew on in the cast. 1/3 of the Friends were named Matthew. That's weird. That's a weird coincidence. And yeah, Matthew Perry. Or Perry. Matthew Perry. All right. Yeah, there were 6 friends. Hey, Strawberries. There were 6 friends, and 6, 7. Of those 6, 2 of them were named Matthew. Matt or Matthew. 2 out of 6 is 1/3. I'll say hello, tendies. Anyway, question 2. She means 6, 7. It's not 3. Do you not know fractions? Do you not know how to do fractions, Tendies? That's 2/6. 2 out of 6 is 1/3. Literally, that's one. Literally, that's 1/3. Just like 3 out of 9. 3 out of 9 as well would be 1/3. 4 out of 12 would be 1/3 because they all divide down. You cut a pizza in 6 and took 2 slices of one pizza. That would be 1/3 of the pizza. What? Matt LeBlanc and Matthew Perry, yes. 1/3 are named Matt. 2 out of 6, aka 1/3, are named Matt. How am I the one who remembers this? I sucked at math. I'm fucking terrible at math. How the fuck am I the one who knows how to do that basic math? You people need to go back to fucking 4th grade. I was 6 afraid of 7 because 7, 8, 9. Anyway, question 2. Question 2 of our friends trivia. What word goes at the end of this part of the theme song? What goes at the end of this part of the theme song? So no one told you life was going to be this way? Your job's a joke. You're broke. Your love life's blank. Your job's a joke. You're broke. Your love life's blank. Hey, Anna. Thank you. Welcome, Anna. Thank you for joining. The options are AOK, DOA, MIA, or DMV for some reason. Hey, Pamela. And the answer actually is DOA. Your love life's DOA. Monica is a blank freak. Monica is a blank freak. Neat, loud, mean, or cool. Watch K-pop Demon Hunters, Jane. What's that mean? It's a good movie. Cheese freak. That too. Sex freak. They all are, though. I mean, they're all sex freaks. Actually, no. I mean, Phoebe's the sex freak. Love Phoebe. Phoebe was always good. Anyway, she's a neat freak. Random note. I remember an episode where Richard had made the bed, and Monica, and like as soon as he was out of the room, Monica immediately started redoing it. And then sort of like he did her right because like she was sort of bashful, like sort of like a little bit embarrassed, explaining her reasoning. And it was like a flower comforter, and her reasoning was that the flowers needed to be sort of pointed towards the headboard. The idea is like the headboard is the sun. So the flowers need to be pointing towards the sun in the form of the headboard. And it was one of those things where it's like, no, that makes sense. That's actually, it's like, that's completely reasonable. That is an absolutely reasonable idea. And shame on Richard for not thinking that through, damn it. Yes, I still have the pony sheets. Richard should have known better. He was the one at fault here. Anyway, Rachel and Ross's baby. What was the name of Rachel and Ross's baby? Emily, Emma, Emmett, or Eleanor? Rachel and Ross. Emily, Emma, Emmett, or Eleanor? One of the above, yeah. Ever watched Friends? Hey, Rach. Bartender accidentally gave me water, but I'm not complaining. As long as he didn't charge you for it. Anyway, Emma. Rachel and Ross named their baby Emma. Who was Rachel supposed to marry before she moved in with Monica? Then I hope she didn't charge you for it. Who was Rachel supposed to marry before she moved in with Monica? Ross Geller, Chandler Bing, Barry Farber, or Barry Farmer? Tendies! Thank you for gift membership, Tendies. Congratulations to Frida Hirser. Barry Farber or Barry Farmer? Hey, Megan. Was his last name Farber with a B or Farmer with an M? Hey, Radioactive. Why am I sitting like this? Because I have my legs up. I have a footrest beside me. I sit sideways so I can put my feet up on the footrest. Because it's comfy. Yeah, technically my chair is a footrest, but it's not. I don't know. I don't find it great. No, we're still doing trivia. We're doing Friends trivia right now. It doesn't go out very far. Anyway, it's Barry Farber. Question 6. True or false? Ross and Rachel have never been married. True or false? Ross and Rachel have never been married. Yeah, maybe. I need to check the pricing and see if there's like differences depending on what day I go or anything. And the answer is false. Ross and Rachel have been married. Drunk in Vegas, exactly. Yep. Blank found Rachel's pregnancy test and thinks blank is the one who is pregnant. So, who found Rachel's pregnancy test and who do they think is pregnant? Ross and Rachel, Phoebe and Monica, Joey and Phoebe, or Rachel and Monica? So, Ross found Rachel's pregnancy test and thinks Rachel's pregnant. Phoebe found the test and thinks Monica's pregnant. Joey found the test and thinks Monica's or Phoebe's pregnant, or Rachel found the test and thinks Monica's pregnant, which makes no sense. Go back in. You're useless. You go back in there because you're way too short to use. Do you know any names? Yeah, it kind of is. The answer is Phoebe found Rachel's pregnancy test and thinks Monica is pregnant. Uh, which quote is more something Chandler would say? Which quote is more something Chandler would say? How you doing? Smelly cat, smelly cat. Do I have the towels arranged by usage category? Which is actually pretty reasonable, frankly. Or could I be any more annoying? So yeah. So yeah, Chandler. What sounds more like Chandler? And here's the quote. How you doing? Smelly cat, smelly cat. Do I have the towels arranged by usage category? Could I be any more annoying? How you doing? How you doing is a Joey thing. How you doing? You ever sound like Dick? He did, honestly. And yes, the answer is could I be any more annoying? Do Chandler. There's a really good moment. Hey, Grapecoat. There's a really good moment. He was supposed to deliver the line Donald Trump called, he wants his blue blazer back. But blue blazer back is just enough of a tongue twister that he said blue blazer black. Phoebe had a twin sister who debuted earlier than Phoebe. Phoebe's twin sister, actually, Ursula, came from the show Mad About You, which predated Friends. Yeah, he says like he said he accidentally said blue blazer black, and immediately everyone started making fun of him. It's like, why would he want it black? It's like back. I meant back. And you're stupid. That was literally the cast roasting. That was literally like the actors roasting Matthew Perry. I love that. I love that they just started making fun of him for it. Uh, question nine. Question nine. Question nine. What character has Joey played on Days of Our Lives? What character has Joey played on Days of Our Lives? Sean Brady, Kobe Bryant, J.R. Ewing, or Dr. Drake Ramore? Sean Brady, Kobe Bryant, J.R. Ewing, or Dr. Drake Ramore? All the others are ridiculous. What? And Dr. Drake Ramore is not a ridiculous name? That is the most ridiculous name there. And obviously, it is the correct answer because it's mocking a soap opera. How many times has Ross been married? How many times has Ross been married? 2, 3, 4, or 5? 2, 3, 4, 5. Yeah, 6, 7, yeah. No, not fair, Uncle Buck. He did not have 3 divorces. One of them was an annulment. That's different from a divorce. Same difference? Yes, but legally different. They are legally separate things. 11. Question 11. Yeah. He married a lesbian. Then he married a British lady. And then he got a quickie marriage to Rachel. Vegas marriage to Rachel. 11. Which of these songs was made famous by Phoebe? Which of these songs was made famous by Phoebe? Fantasy, Where You Lead, Smelly Cat, I Don't Want to Wait. For our lives to be Fantasy, Where You Lead, Smelly Cat, or I Don't Want to Wait. My husband identifies as a lesbian also. 50 is saying you're a Freemason. Shit, I wish I'd. If I was, I'd probably get some money out of it. Freemasons, if you wanna recruit me, Honestly, I'm pretty cheap. I'm pretty cheap. And yeah, Smelly Cat. What is the name of the coffee house where the gang hangs out? We're almost done with this category, Brooka. Can't you just join the Masons? I have no idea, Talio. I've never looked up. I've never looked into them in any detail. I don't really care. Yeah, Central Perk. Monica. What is Monica's profession? Chef, baker, chef. Yeah, chef. She is a chef. Who calls Chandler her bing-a-ling? Who calls Chandler her bing-a-ling? Phoebe, Monica, Janice, or Kathy? Phoebe, Monica, Janice, or Kathy? Janice. The last one, who cares? Who gives a shit about that last question? All right, Brooka. The new characters. Yeah, she was a woman that Janice was a woman that Chandler dated for a while. She had a very like Fran Drescher and the Nanny kind of voice. Like her voice in particular, her character to a lesser extent, but her voice in particular was very clearly was very similar to Fran Drescher from the Nanny. Very nasally, very annoying. Oh my god, just very annoying and nasally. James like just went on Seinfeld. George thought she got pregnant. Hey, Gabrielle. I don't think she was inspired by Drescher. I think they were both inspired by, like, probably, probably by older Jewish ladies that they both that older Jewish ladies in their in each of their lives. Like, I think it's just they knew women who spoke like that. Might have been aunties, might have been friends. I don't know, but OG Queens ladies. My guess would be that both were probably inspired by like I would guess like Jewish aunties that they knew. Yentas, yeah. Any trivia? No. No trivia about me. All right, next category. Who's got a category? South Park? Meh. MILFs? No, I don't want to do South Park trivia. What's on Britannica? feel like we might have done this one. Yeah, I think we have done that category. Harry Potter can go fuck itself. Illicit drugs. I don't want to do Family Guy. I don't want to do Seinfeld. I don't want to do another TV show. I don't want to do another TV show. Speaking of drugs, I'll be back. All right. I don't want to do another TV show. Somebody said drugs. How about we could do celebrity death by drugs or allusions to drugs in music. Commonly abused drugs. Allusions to drugs and music. All right. This one is, hey, Killface. This one is apparently a difficult quiz. So, allusions to drugs in music. Question 1. Not an Addict is a rather hauntingly beautiful song about the denial that a drug addict may go through. It was also a fairly successful single for the band who sung it. What is the name of the band that performs Not an Addict? K's Choice, Sonic Youth, Barenaked Ladies, or Nightwish? K's Choice, Sonic Youth, Barenaked Ladies, or Nightwish? Who performed Not an Addict? Answer is K's Choice. Apparently a Belgian band. Neither have I. I've never heard of them either. Number 2. Another one I haven't heard of, by the way. I think I've vaguely heard of the artist, but only Disturbed. No, I can't. Herb the gift from the earth, and what's from the earth is of the greatest worth. So before you knock it, try it first. Oh, you'll see it's a blessing and not a curse. These are some of the lyrics from what sounds like a fairly pro-drug song sung by American artist Ben Harper. What's the name of this song? What's the name of the song? Gift from the Earth, Burn One Down, Light My Fire, What I Choose to Do. Gift from the Earth, Burn One Down, Light My Fire, or What I Choose to Do. That was my shit when I was 20. It is not Staind. That is Ben Harper. And the name of the song, girl wrote the lyrics on my wall in high school. I said, that's shit. That's funny. That's funny, Scapegoat. But you're right, Burn One Down. That was Burn One Down. The song I'm Shady by Eminem has the most drug references that I have ever heard in any song. In the middle of the third verse, Eminem sings about the various drugs that he does and doesn't do. All of the following drugs are mentioned in this part of the song, but which does Eminem say he does do? So which of these 4 drugs does Eminem say that he does do in I'm Shady? Speed, crack, weed, or acid? Speed, crack, weed, or acid? Which does he do? The answer is weed. Apparently, the line is, "Well, I do take pills. Don't do speed. Don't do crack. Don't do coke. I do smoke weed." Surely I did that. Surely I sang that correctly. Surely I did that song justice right there. Number 4. He does do Molly too. I mean, I'm sure he does Molly, he does Jessica, he does Rachel, he does, does a lot of women, I'm sure. Random smokes is beyond me. Give me some right thing for sleep. Number 4. Yeah, Kim, he just beats. Question 4. While not entirely about drugs, Nickelback's Rockstar does have several references to drugs in it, and how they are tied to the life of a stereotypical rock star. Which of the following is mentioned as being something that a rock star would have, be able to do, according to the song? For Nickelback's Rockstar, which of the following is mentioned as something a rock star would have, or be able to do, according to the song? The drugs would come cheap. He'd have a drug dealer on speed dial. He'd pop his pills from a Pez dispenser, or all of the above. Drugs would come cheap. Have a drug dealer on speed dial. Pop his pills from a Pez dispenser, or all of the above. And the answer is all of the above. Pez line came to me as I typed it. Question 5. Question 5. I'm not the one who's so far away when I feel the snake bite enter my vein. These are lyrics from a song called Voodoo by an American heavy metal band. Which band sings these lyrics in their song called Voodoo? Korn, Nine Inch Nails, Godsmack, or Tool? I'm not the one who's so far away when I feel the snake bite enter my vein. Korn, Nine Inch Nails, Godsmack, or Tool? And yes, it's Gerd Smirk. Number 6. Some dude just offered me a corn cheese bread. How nice. Oh, that is nice. Number 6. In the song We Are All on Drugs by Weezer. We Are All on Drugs by Weezer. Which of the following is not mentioned in the song as something that you do when you're on drugs? Which is not mentioned as something you do when you're on drugs? Show up late for school, steal money from your daddy, twitch in your seat, wish you could quit. Show up late for school, steal money from your daddy, twitch in your seat, or wish you could quit. And the actual answer is steal money from your daddy. It's steal money from your daddy. Is not something you do when you're on drugs. Number 7. In Everclear's Heroin Girl. Everclear's song Heroin Girl. Why so many from Dad was sober? Exactly. What is the name of the heroin girl? What is the name of the heroin girl? Star with 2 R's, Louise, Bridget, or Esther? Star, Louise, Bridget, or Esther? Star, Louise, Bridget, or Esther? I don't know anything about drugs. Not like I'm an expert. So the answer to that one is Esther. It is Esther. The heroine girl in that song is Esther. Maybe pick this topic. Somebody said drugs. Somebody suggested drugs as a category. For a Patreon membership. That's fine, strawberries. This winner. You're all winners. And what do you get? Nothing. I think Bridget I trust as Jones. Number 8. Number 8. I sing the song because I love the man. I know that some of you don't understand. Milk blood to keep from running out. These are the lyrics from a song called The Needle and the Damage Done. Who originally wrote and sang this song? Who originally wrote and sang The Needle and the Damage Done? Billy Idol, John Lennon, Mick Jagger, or Neil Young? Billy Idol, John Lennon, Mick Jagger, or Neil Young? Billy Jagger. You have drug skill face? Good for you. Oh man, take a look at my life. Shit. How am I forgetting? Oh man, take a look at my life. How am I forgetting how that line finishes? Right. I'm a lot like you. Yeah, it's a Neil Young song. Number 9, Dandy Warhols. I actually really like this song. Next one is a Dandy Warhols, and I really like the song. Which song by the Dandy Warhols has the line "Heroin is so passe" repeated throughout the entire song? Which Dandy Warhols song has the line "Heroin is so passe"? Everything is Totally Insane, Not If You Were the Last Junkie on Earth, Bohemian Like You, or You Were the Last High? Everything is Totally Insane, Not If You Were the Last Junkie on Earth, Bohemian Like You, or You Were the Last High? Hey, Jerry. I never thought you'd be a junkie because heroin is so passe. You're insane with your pain. But I never thought you'd be a junkie because hair is so passe. She's gonna look it up. And yeah, not if you were the last junkie on Earth, which is about their friend, about one of their friends. Um, so they were really good friends with a band called the Brian Jonestown Massacre. I'm blanking on the name of the singer from that guy, from that band, but they were really good friends. They came up, they sort of were coming up in the music scene together. Anton Newcomb. Anton Newcomb is sort of like the main guy from the Brian Jonestown Massacre, and that dude was horrible, like just deeply fucked up dude. Great singer songwriter, but people would go to Brian Jonestown Massacre songs. People would go to their shows just to see if he would get in a fight, like just to see if he, like just to see if the show would finish. Like he was a raging asshole who, despite his talent, completely sabotaged any chance he ever had of commercial success. Anyway, final question of this category. Final question of the category. It's quite ironic to think that a song which is recognized as being an uplifting piece of music is actually about heroin. None other than Sarah McLachlan's Angel. Sarah McLachlan's Angel. The song is a tribute to a member of a certain band who overdosed on heroin and passed away. What was the man's name, and what band was he from? Sarah McLachlan's Angel is about a musician who overdosed on heroin and passed away. What was his name, and what was the band? Peter Holmstrom from the Dandy Warhols, Nate Mendel from the Foo Fighters, John Spence from No Doubt, John Melvoin from the Smashing Pumpkins. Peter Holmstrom from the Dandy Warhols, Nate Mendel from the Foo Fighters, John Spence from No Doubt, John Melvoin from the Smashing Pumpkins. And yeah, John Melvoin from the Smashing Pumpkins. All right. You people debate among each other for the next category. I'm going to go pee and refill my water. I'll be back in a couple minutes while I pee and refill my water, while you discuss next category. All right. Keystone documentaries on Netflix. Just didn't realize the 30-minute and everything. All right. So serial killer. We did that last time, didn't we? Pretty sure we did serial killer trivia last time I did trivia. Serial killers every trivia? No. Your bosses too. True. Quentin Tarantino films. All right. Papers in an old rice cooker. All right. Quentin Tarantino movies. Tarantino movies. I have a straw and a vibrator. Important things. Which Tarantino movie opens in an airport? Which Tarantino movie opens in an airport? Kill Bill Volume 1, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, or Reservoir Dogs? Kill Bill Volume 1, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, or Reservoir Dogs? The Mighty Ducks. I never actually watched Jackie Brown. And that is the answer. Which Tarantino movie did Harvey Keitel only talk over a phone in? Which Tarantino movie did Harvey Keitel only talk over a phone in? Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2, Pulp Fiction, or Inglorious Bastards? Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2, Pulp Fiction, or Inglorious Bastards? That's right. I wanted to double check who Keitel played in Pulp Fiction. Because in Pulp Fiction, he played Winston Wolfe. The answer is Inglourious Bastards. Which Tarantino movie does not show feet? Yeah, trick question. I'm pretty sure all of them do. Which Tarantino movie was really only half of a movie? The other half being directed by Robert Rodriguez. Weirdly, that seems to be a common thing among directors. And no, I do not have I do not like feet. So yeah, which Tarantino movie was only really only half of a movie, the other half being directed by Robert Rodriguez? Death Proof, From Dusk Till Dawn, Kill Bill Volume 1, or Four Rooms? And yeah, Death Proof, which honestly I thought kind of sucked. I honestly kind of thought that movie sucked. It was fucking glacial. It was fucking molasses for like an hour. Jack fucking shit actually happens. And it's not even that nothing's happening. It's that it's that the dialogue isn't even particularly interesting. Like, I don't, like, it wasn't even particularly compelling dialogue, is the thing. Like, that is what made it so slow, is how boring the dialogue actually is. There's nothing, there's no depth to it. There's nothing interesting about the characters or what there's any of them are saying. Planet Terror also kind of sucked, frankly. I didn't much like that one either. Don't mind a slow burn either. Wasn't a vibe. I thought they were going for a mix. Yeah, it was just nothing. It was just exceptionally fucking dull. The actors were all way too understated. Like, the performances were all way too understated, and that's down to Tarantino. That is entirely his fault. But like the actor, like the performances had very little depth to them. There was nothing interesting about about the performances. What kind of thing he's going for? Faster Pussycat Kill Kill. So yeah, it was just a shit movie. Anyway. Great throwback to racing movies. Like the second half where it was like the cars. The car, like the actual like car chase section was actually pretty fun. Like that second part, that second section of Death Proof was actually pretty fun. But the first section where it's just a handful of people in a bar just talking in a way that speaking in a way that people don't actually speak. I think that is sort of like a big part of it. It felt like every line was like they're trying to deliver each line in a way that was like weighty. Gotta turn into a signature. But like you compare that to like the opening of Reservoir Dogs, where like the people like do people speak like that? Maybe not, but I mean they were like they spoke with interest. You know, like they were like it was a bunch of people shooting the shit. Like it felt like people like it felt like a bunch of guys just shooting the shit. But with Death Proof, what made it so fucking dull was that it really felt like they were trying to deliver each line in this sort of dramatic, weighty manner. And it's like, dudes, like, no, like, it would be much more entertaining if they were laughing. Like, it would have been way more entertaining a movie if the characters were allowed to sound vaguely human. You know, if they were fucking smiling and laughing. And, you know, you get parts where they're more serious discussions, you know, where they're where they are serious, but you break up those serious parts with laughing and joking around. Otherwise, I just found the movie so fucking boring and shitty. Anyway, question 4. Continuing on. Question 4. But that's not his style. That is absolutely not at all his style. His style is more naturalistic dialogue. His style is people taking the taking piss out of each other. His style is much more fun dialogue. I've also never seen Inglourious Basterds. I have seen his film. You're telling me like Pulp Fiction, the bit. You know what they call a Big Mac or you know what they call a quarter pounder in France? Like that's like the opening of Pulp Fiction. But again, like those two characters in Pulp Fiction, they have so much more character to them, so much more personality to them than the characters in Death Proof did. They show like real fucking emotion, real personality. Their voices vary in tone. From what I can remember, the acting, right? Exactly. The performances. That's my point. It's the performances, and that is down to the director. Tarantino directed the actors to perform in a specific way. And holy shit, did he ever direct them to perform in the most boring way possible. But moving on, we only got like 10 more minutes, so let's try to get through these last 7 questions. We got like 7 questions in 10 minutes. Get weird buzz from QT, if I'm being honest. I mean, yes. Which Tarantino movie was his very first full-length feature film? Which was his very first full-length feature film? Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, or True Romance? Backdoor Sluts 9. Jackie Brown, Reservoir Dogs, Pulp Fiction, or True Romance, which was his first full-length feature film? And yes, obviously, of course it's Reservoir Dogs. Of course it's Reservoir Dogs. What's that? Normal dialogue between actors? Right. That is like a big part of his. That is how, like, that is his thing. Is the normal dialogue, but the dialogue in Death Proof did not feel normal. Hey, Peppermint, we like Scrape over here. Person who makes movies, who grew up loving movies, and I think it shows. It definitely does, both as a positive and kind of as a negative. I feel like, for good and for ill, like for good and for ill, it shows that he is a person who grew up loving movies. Question five. Which Tarantino movie featured the songs Flower on the Wall and Son of a Preacher Man? Which movie featured the songs Flowers on the Wall and Son of a Preacher Man? Pulp Fiction, Reservoir Dogs, Jackie Brown, or Kill Bill Volume 2? And yeah, Pulp Fiction, of course. In which of his movies was he a voice on an answering machine? In which of his movies uh, was he the voice on an answering machine? Inglourious Bastards, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 2, or Death Proof? All of them. He does appear in all of his movies. He is in all of his own movies, I think, or most of them anyway. He is in most of his movies in some role. But this one, he was the voice on an answering machine. Inglourious Bastards, Jackie Brown, Kill Bill Volume 2, or Death Proof? Answer is Jackie Brown. Answer was Jackie Brown. In which movie does Daryl Hannah appear? where she used the snake to kill someone. In which movie does Daryl Hannah use a snake to kill someone? Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2, Pulp Fiction, Inglourious Basterds. Kill Bill Volume 1, Kill Bill Volume 2, Pulp Fiction, or Inglourious Basterds. Splash. I like that. That's good. And yeah, Volume 2. Uses a Black Mamba on Bud. Yep. Yeah, it's Kill Bill Volume 2. Which Tarantino movie partly takes place in France? Also Splash. Does Daryl Hannah kill someone with a snake in Splash? I was unaware of that. I've never seen Splash. I've never watched Splash. But I don't remember hearing anything about her using a snake to kill someone in that movie. But I could be wrong. Could be. Maybe she does. I don't know how that movie goes. Maybe she does. I don't know. Anyway, she was a mermaid. Thus, the killing people part at least was, just she didn't use a snake to do it. Anyway, which Tarantino movie partly takes place in France? France! Inglourious Basterds, Pulp Fiction, Death Proof, Reservoir Dogs. And yeah, it was Inglourious Basterds. Which Tarantino movie features the songs Stuck in the Middle with You and Fool for Love? Which Tarantino movie features the songs Stuck in the Middle with You and Fool for Love? What do I think of Missing Girls? I think I've never been to France. That's my take on the Missing Jewels. I've never been to France. Reservoir Dogs. And last question of the night. Final question of the night. Which Tarantino movie features the quote, "How does it feel to kill a man?" Which movie features the quote, "How does it feel to kill a man?" Kill Bill Volume 1, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, or Inglourious Basterds? Kill Bill, Pulp Fiction, Jackie Brown, Inglourious Basterds. Shrek. Peppermint. Still talking about. I still talk about politics, just not tonight, because tonight is trivia. And the answer was Pulp Fiction. As I recall, it was the scene cab driver. Bruce Willis, the character. Bruce Willis gets into a cab, and the cab driver asks him because he had just killed a dude in the ring. No, yesterday was gaming night, Christina. Yesterday was Date Everything. We don't talk about politics when we're playing Date Everything. No, absolutely not. Smart. I am so smart. I am so smart. SMRT. I mean SMART. Did you date a lot of sluts? I mean, a few. I would say that, in over the course of playing Date Everything, over the course of the all the time we've been playing Date Everything, all these months, I'd say we've dated a few sluts in that game. Of course we've missed you, Killface. Of course I've missed you. Always disappointed when you don't come around. Sure, the reaction channels will clip that. Cool. So yeah, we are a slut. Our character is a total slut. Am I a registered sex offender? I guess you could say that. Yeah. Like Crossy Roads. We'll see. Probably not. In any event, sluts welcome. Yep, we love sluts around here. We have a very pro-slut attitude. Sorry, April. All right. Anywho, that'll do for tonight. I do have that poll up about possibly starting a Patreon. So far, out of 162 votes, 56% are against me starting a Patreon. That said, 44% out of 162, that's, gotta be what, like $70? Yeah, that's what, 70, $75? Yeah, but like if I'm charging like $1, if my Patreon, if I'm only charging like $1 a month for Patreon, if 75 people join, that's $75. Go for it. I probably will end up going for it. It'll definitely be under $5. It's going to be like the minimum. It's going to be like, like I don't know what the minimum I need to charge is, but yeah, it'll be like bare minimum. I'm not charging. I don't want to charge people a lot of money. I probably will end up doing it, just because it would allow me to do a video. It would allow me to do videos where I react to cartoon theme songs. Like, honestly, I want to do that. It's fun. It'd be fun to do, and I can't do it on YouTube because fucking copyright. I don't know. I mean, I have gotten enough people. Like, I have got like there is enough interest that I could probably get. I don't know. If I got like 25 people, that might even be worth it. Whether I like how long I keep it going might depend on how many people subscribe. Because I mean, if it's only like 8 people, like well, if only 8 people end up subscribing, then I might cancel it just because like not a lot of people. Merch. I have not considered merch because then I'd have to make merch. Anywho. That's it for tonight. Thanks for coming. I suppose depending on like what time I like, depending on whether like I actually do go to my mom's tomorrow, and depending on what time I get back, I might be late tomorrow. I may end up being late. I may potentially end up being a little bit late tomorrow. So, thanks for coming. Actually, no. The thing I ordered, I'm pretty sure. I'm pretty sure it's the Jekka plushie. It's been delayed until Wednesday. So Wednesday before I get Jekka. Anyway, good night, everybody.